We are all looking for a way to stand still while the world speeds by, to find some quiet clarity in the middle of constant noise. The Sri Bagavath Aya system approaches this problem through a specific lens. It views the human mind not as a mystery, but as a mechanical system that can be audited, mapped, and brought under management. This diagram breaks down the specific formula used here. It combines 4 distinct disciplines: hard science, modern psychology, neuro-linguistic programming, and traditional spirituality, all merging into a single core goal of taking control of your life. By overlapping these frameworks, the system attempts to completely rewire how you view reality and how you solve your daily problems. This is a departure from passive relaxation. It treats psychological growth as an engineering project, a deliberate reconfiguration of your internal architecture. This matrix highlights a massive contrast. On the left, traditional mindfulness apps are designed with low friction, giving you simple, generic advice to help you relax. On the right is the Bagavath system, a high-friction, AI-driven, hyper-personalized ecosystem. The scale here is staggering. We're looking at 49 distinct digital links, over 16,000 YouTube videos, and a database of 100,000 specific questions and answers. For a new user, landing in the middle of this scattered array of Google Drives, documents, and AI models is immediately overwhelming. This raises the central question: is this hyper-personalized, data-heavy stack a catalyst for faster growth, or is it a digital maze that invites analysis paralysis? Getting results here has less to do with the teachings themselves at first, and everything to do with your ability to navigate this digital friction without getting lost. This flowchart maps out the system's simple roadmap, the mandatory defense built to prevent information overload. The first 5 days demand intense focus. You watch the core demo on day 1, then spend days 2 through 5 rigorously studying the 500 Q&A document. This initial sprint pays off quickly. It aggressively builds the philosophical vocabulary you need to actually understand the rest of the massive ecosystem. Success in this phase depends on 5 days of focused scholarship. You are essentially acting as a student researcher rather than a casual consumer. You cannot treat this like a passive podcast you leave on in the background. If you skip this foundational study, the rest of the tools will likely remain impenetrable. During this intense study period, you are learning the actual mechanics of neuro-linguistic programming, figuring out exactly how to reprogram your own behavioral responses. The Bagavath ecosystem is structured like a rigorous college syllabus. It demands active, disciplined study from the moment you log in. Once you pass the on-ramp, you enter the continuous phase of the roadmap, which relies heavily on generative AI. They digitized a massive question database, building specialized bots using Gemini, advanced models like ChatGPT, and tools like Notebook LM. The benefit here is immediate. Instead of searching through archives, you get instant 24/7 application of the philosophy to your specific real-world crises. When hitting a wall, sit at your keyboard and work through your exact problem with an AI trained on decades of spiritual teachings. However, there is a catch. The quality of the spiritual advice you receive now depends entirely on your technical ability to prompt an AI. If you write vague or poor questions, the AI will simply feed you generic answers on a loop. You risk building a digital echo chamber instead of finding true insight. Automating the guru experience provides direct, constant access to a massive database, but it shifts the burden of finding insight entirely onto your own technical competence. The third pillar of this ecosystem is its sprawling media library and YouTube channels. We are talking about over 16,000 videos, offering hyper-specific tools ranging from daily guidance to specialized techniques like the volcano meditation. If you have a psychological friction point, there is almost certainly a dedicated resource specifically recorded to address it. The risk is severe mental burnout. It's incredibly easy to start content binging and get completely lost inside endless playlists. To combat this, the roadmap enforces a strict, non-negotiable rule. You consume exactly 1 video and 1 meditation song per day, no more. True discipline in this ecosystem means resisting the urge to watch as much as possible, deliberately limiting your intake so your mind has time to actually integrate the lessons. When executed correctly, the Bagavath system functions as a massive, complex machine, with every technical and philosophical gear turning smoothly together. But its massive scale and AI integration represent its biggest liability at the exact same time. The tools work brilliantly, provided you completely submit to the rigid structure laid out in their simple roadmap. If you stray from that path and try to click randomly through the 49 links, you will hit a wall of digital overwhelm. This is a highly effective psychological optimization tool, but it strictly demands an optimizer's rigorous, process-oriented mindset to keep it from breaking down. This chart maps exactly who should attempt this digital journey. The ideal user sits right here, a tech-literate optimizer thriving on daily routines and NLP frameworks. Down here is the anti-user, an overwhelmed beginner seeking passive comfort. This is not for you. Trying to navigate a web of Google Drives, Aratai community chats, and AI interfaces will actively multiply your anxiety rather than cure it. The Bagavath AI system points to the high-friction future of hyper-personalized spirituality. Reaching its promised inner peace requires brutal honesty about your own